rival yet. Chiefs Esports, the dragon in the cave, guarding the World Championship ticket.
Saw what they're capable of today. Chiefs, it's 10 seconds in. They're going to keep us quiet there as Torsa scores the first goal.
Order immediately on the back foot. What a touch by Drippe. Completely back foot Zen and Dumbo. And Torsa's playing confident. If they are feeling shaky, we haven't seen it just yet.
One goal. And we were talking about Order at the start of the day. They put up a very good performance against the Chiefs. They pushed them to limits. And the Chiefs getting off in game one, that's the difference there. As you find a breakaway and Order get a quick one
it's
too.
It's the counterattack as well. Chiefs commit hard. They did this earlier today against Order, and now they get completely countered. There was no rebuttal from the Chiefs. Tied game.
But also when we saw against SYF Gaming, we saw a better Order, more switched on. They were quicker to the ball. And if we see that again as Jules just takes a punt off that kickoff, sends it right into that net.
Incredibly aggressive cheat, and it just goes in. That's disappointing. That's 3 goals in 30 seconds. And Order were playing incredibly aggressive as well, straight off the kickoff.
You see Torthos here, I think a bit of a fake. No one's in
I don't think
anyway.
it was going to make a difference.
Yep.
Zen was running back because they thought that they were in attack.
Yep.
And all of a sudden it got turned around.
But it was a good equaliser there for Order. 3 goals, 30 seconds. I think we're going to have a messy one here, Yummy Cheeseman. Again, everyone committing forward into the midfield, not in the right position. Drippe off that backboard. Kami sends it up again. The crossbar bumps into Drippe, so he can't follow up.
That hurts.
Just a little bit there. Chiefs in front of net again. Everyone's scrambling for the ball. This first game, it's going to be a messy one.
4th goal, and that could have come at full 10 seconds earlier. It didn't quite go through, but look how aggressive the Chiefs are. They're playing incredibly close. They're putting the pressure on, and they're turning the screws on Order.
3-1. Screws are being tightened a little bit too much, I think, for Order right now. But you got 4 minutes, and you've had a messy game so far, so why not speed things up a little bit more?
They need to be challenging out. They aren't doing it like they were in the end of the first series and against SYF. They're staying back and hoping that they can possibly make a save.
Trying to set ourselves up with a new team for RLCS to knock out the Chiefs who've gone every single season that we've been involved. It starts right here, game number 1. There's a good pass over to Zen, but he's not really waiting for it. He's going to pass it up the wall to himself, ready to pop forward. Chiefs on the defense. Everything slowed down a little bit. The chaos at the start of the game. Oh, maybe not. I'm going to take it back for a second as Jules was set up nicely.
It means the Chiefs are able to be more comfortable. They don't feel like they need to be hyper-aggressive like they were before. They can sit back. Jules going for a big bump. Didn't quite pay off. In fact, it did.
What a touch.
Zen just in the perfect spot.
And Order catch all the way up. I said that the chaos was going to stop there, Yummy, but little did I know would keep going.
That was insane by Jules.
It
the fact
really
that
was.
He went so aggressive, he took a massive risk to go for that bump, and it paid off. They've still got 3 minutes and 23 seconds to tie it up.
Peace of mind to do that in the situation as well. For Order, the development and growth over today has been huge. We keep talking about that potential, and Order have shown it all the way. Kami, quick defense there from Chiefs to get them into a quick reply against Order. The pass is up to Jules, will go wide, but from the corner there's a perfect center for Zen. The crossbar, dunk it down, no one's there. But Order again having shots, having opportunities, and that's a breath of fresh air.
Zen so quick in the air as well. He was beating out SYF. Now he's actually beating out the Chiefs, and that's what we said they needed to do to win.
Zen had such a great series against SYF, but right now, a bit of a mishap there. Chiefs find their 4.
It was a clever counter-attack too. Zen was on the back foot. He was the last defender. Now Kami gets that touch out. He's been such a good assister all season.
Torthos can get some goals as well.
Those passes out that are so crucial.
Chiefs 4 goals up, 2 minutes 50. Order in game number 1. Does this work for them? It feels like not really. Chiefs always going to find that gap. Time's still ticking. 6 goals here in game 1.
It's incredible. The number of goals, the aggression from both of the teams, the risks they're willing to take. It better tighten up because this is not how you get into the World Championship.
Torthos and Kami head-to-head again. That defense strong from Order, but been strong enough. Still going through, slower play, but Torthos speeding it up. Jules get the clear off that backboard, uses that speed to help up Dumbo as well. Center. Zen. Kami bounces it down. Torso's still here. Dumbo will get a pass forward over to Zen. Off the ward, he misses that touch, so Dumbo has to follow it up. Doesn't work out. Goes all the way over to the other side, and it'll just turn into a clear.
Something Chiefs are really good at, that SYF weren't doing, is seeing where the order challenge is coming from and getting it around that player. Even if it's not the best touch to their teammate or the clear that they wanted, it still allows them to keep possession.
On that note as well, Zen can sometimes be unpredictable, which works well for Order. Right now in front of net, this is one of those times as Jules hits it into that top 90, but it's blocked away by 2 defenders from Chiefs. Zen came through as well, a missed touch before, and Order just need to get everything together in game 1 to work towards this series.
Rough touch from Jules, but it doesn't get punished. The teammate, Order are following up their touches really well, and that's their hope. They work together to keep this defense alive.
They're all on the attack. They're not worried about the defense right now. The Chiefs able to hang back and play it safe. 2 goals the difference, but Zen's still here. Off the backboard, waits for time, but Torsos with a bit of the EU clear. Off that backboard again.
Well, despite being behind, the nice thing that Order are doing, not pushing up too aggressively. They're staying back, they're playing their standard play, they've still got a minute, and they believe in their play style to try and tie up this game.
You have to at this point. There's an opening there for Jules. Can he get it through defense? This is where Order need to strike. They do, and it's Zen.
Such a good touch by Zen.
Beautiful.
He finds... He fakes out a big shot into that right-hand side. You see Drippe looking for that save, and then he goes for such a delicate, light touch into that left-hand side, fools Drippe, and brings it back in the game.
But you know what, Yummy? I'm genuinely intrigued by this series, even in game 1. Order come out with some interesting plays, and that demo... Oh boy! I told you I was intrigued.
It wasn't the demo. Jules is playing so aggressive in that cheating position, and it actually gets behind Torsos. A valuable kickoff for Order, and he beats out the defender only just.
Even this game 1 is full of surprises. 4 all 55 seconds. A game of chaos. A game of spice here. And I'm ready to mix the 2 together and see what we get.
8 goals and multiple of them off the kickoff. That is potentially the part where each of these teams can shore up their defense, but it seems to be a tightly fought battle right now.
See if they can shut down the Chiefs here. Order, everything sped up a little bit there. 35 seconds, Drippe centers it, but Zen with the read. Important for Order to carry the ball with Zen. The individual player that pop up, Kami saves it away. Necessity here for the Chiefs. Jules, midfield, pops down, good clear. Drippe and Torsos. There's no speed on this ball. Torsos actually doesn't have control. There's a demo onto Kami. There's 13 seconds. Zen has come through with the challenge. Drippe hasn't found the clear. Off the wall. Can he get it down into the net? The steal away by Order. Are we doing overtime again? Torsos doesn't want to go there. It's happened too much. Drippe on net. Jules clears it away. And are we just going to have deja vu once more? Torsos again close. But it is deja vu.
For Order. Dumbo just holding on. They make it to overtime after a barrage of attacks from Chiefs. And if Chiefs can play like that for this overtime, Order in trouble.
39 seconds, game 1, Order falls short. Will this happen again? On the attack, Jules is here. The Chiefs under fire, looking to take game 1 lead. But can they maintain? From the corner again, they're in front of net. Jules goes wide.
And you're seeing them put Chiefs on the back foot, get the ball behind them, really make them struggle. You've never seen Chiefs getting played out like this.
Especially in a game 1 against Order when RLCS qualification is in this matchup. Kami, back foot he is on the defense. We're over the 39-second mark. The shot's directly on net. Zen pops it up again. A good bump there. Pass forward over to Dumbo, but Torsos gets to it first. Drippe's in off the wall. Look at the positioning from Chiefs. Drippe to Torsos again.
That was a play and a half off that top corner. Drippe finding Torsos. That's the tag team. That's the 1-2. And Torsos saw the open net. I think he knows himself as that player who may miss it. He would have been feeling it. His hands would have been shaking. But he sinks it, and that is a big moment now for the Chiefs.
Especially since we went to overtime again in game 1, and it's Chiefs that clutch it out. Find that beautiful 2-man pass play.
6 overtimes in a row for Order to lose.
This is a heartbreaker in game 1, but the heart is still beating. It's only game 1. Another best of 7 for Order. You don't want to tell the story of Dumbo anymore, but in game 1, that's not the momentum you need in the series.
And Zen, he is playing fast. I like to see it. He's really confident. I saw him beat out the Chiefs members multiple times, and that led to some of their goals. but there needs to be a whole team effort. It needs to be all three of them. They need to not let those easy goals in because they just let that game run away.
What an uncomfortable position for the Chiefs. So one that, again, at the start of the day against Order, we said we didn't expect them to be here, but they could get away with it.
Chiefs didn't even expect to lose to Tainted. They were so confident that they would make it in the upper bracket. They'd win the grand final. They're down here now, and they're not having the best game against Order.
And Order are the team that, even though one game down, they're in a position of power, essentially. They're the fourth-seeded team, let's not forget, taking down seed number 3. If they can take down the first seed in Chiefs, boy, oh boy, with that set of statement, we're going to get there, of course, first. But
the first series of the day set the stage for this match. The repeat, we know that they're both incredibly good at adapting. We saw it go back and forth throughout that first series, and it wasn't until Game 5 that Chiefs were able to really comfortably get the lead.
The moment for Order. Can they return from that epic game number 1? The touch there from Drippe, slight. Just finds the mark. Start from Chiefs. And Order to recover here in this series. Are they going to return it again? The setup's there from Chiefs, but the block away by Jules. It continues to play out. And Order on the attack.
A lot of opportunities right there for Chiefs, but again, they're just not quite hitting that mark. They're not quite finding the perfect angle.
Here. Jules comes up as well, but the Chiefs have found a big clear. Dumbo around the wing. Drippe off that backboard. It's going to bounce. Kami coming through. 2 members up. It's Zen, though, who just sends it pile driving down the middle. Drippe, this is his turn to slam it down. Zen do here. The solid play denied. Coming forward is Jules. The roller's there. Dumbo in the field. That was a great ground pass.
And not only that, Dumbo got pushed out of the way in the midfield. He just held on. He still manages to find the pass after Drippe gets through and hit that perfect spot. It had to be in the left-hand side. Order take the lead in Game 2.
Confidence again, taking the lead in Game 2. We've said it so many times. Watching this series again, I think just makes it that much more exciting. We saw how Order challenged the Chiefs before. Now in such a difficult position, Order feel like they've been better each and every step of today.
The potential comeback of the century from the group stage to league play to finals where they dropped the Chiefs into the lower bracket. A big chance now for Order.
Dumbo able to punch the ball forward. Does that chance continue to present itself? Zen doesn't get the reach, and Kami just pops it to the roof. Torsos here, gets it through the defender. It's just up to Dumbo to dribble it away. Drippe comes in. Torsos ready to pass it off. The boost given over. That's a breakthrough and a half. The touch is there, and Dumbo can't get it away.
Brilliant read by Drippe. He knew that the defender was going to try and get it away from his net. They had to struggle back. Torsos gets the touch there, and Drippe reads it, finds the reaction time as well. Tying up this game, the way that Chiefs play, the confidence they have, they are going to stay in this series as a confident player, a confident team to go back to the World Championship.
Yeah, and a bunch of confident players. You're right, Drippe in the middle of the field. That's not a good touch. Zen, can he get away with it? No boost. But the defense holds out once again. Zen still no boost, but a beautiful touch there. And what a setup for Dumbo.
Clever by Zen, the player who's never been in the top 4 before. He finds that little touch. It might have even just been fortunate, a bit of luck, but that's what you need to get there in the end.
But it's a perfect situation. Order up again. 3 minutes remaining. Game 2 has the same flavor as game number 1 here for Order. Can Jules spice it up even more? Question mark here. 3 minutes left remaining. The pass is back. That's a weird one, a tricky one even. Also from the corner, he'll try and react to it, but it's Zen off the roof again. Chiefs get a bit of control there. That passing play kind of hurt Order, but they're able to recover it eventually. In the midfield trying to do some work. Passed again, Torsos goes up, Zen goes high as well. Backboard defended well there by Order. They clear it towards net. Kami with an easy read. Not going to let this one hit the roof is Zen. Clear it back around. The Chiefs on the defensive once again. Order trying to punish through. Remember how many good games they had against Chiefs there in the previous series. It feels like it has the same sentiment. Jules off the back wall. Can't find anything more.
Order is starting to find those intercepts, and that is how you shut down the Chiefs. We saw it from Tainted Minds, just stopping every single pass, and if they can keep that up, they will be able to hold on to the lead.
Well, the pass is really, really good there from Zen. Sets it up. Dumbo then tries to get the reset, but doesn't need it here as Kami comes back in to swipe it away. Jules around the goal square. They sit heavily here. Order continue to hold this lead, continue to hold control. One play from the Chiefs doesn't seem like it's enough.
They were really holding far back on that rotation. Kami took a long time to get in, but it might be enough. The pass out to Drippe. That's 2 for 2. The passes from Kami.
The clean pass from Kami at that as well. Right positioning, right time from Chiefs.
He didn't even have enough boost.
Didn't need it. Drippe scoring that one, 2 apiece. Order. Dangerous position now as well. In game 2, what looked promising for them.
And overtimes, that is
That's the story of these two teams here today.
I mean, Order have just been in so many, but they've lost almost every single one that they've been in.
Yep.
I think that comes down to nerves. I think Zen gets too far into his head, and they were going to secure it right now. The bump in net, not enough.
Kami comes forward for the intercept of the challenge, excuse me. That bump. Ingenious there by Zen, trying to go beyond here, the limits. Unfortunate, but again, the Chiefs know where to punish.
All of Order had used their boost. Zen had nothing left. Dumbo was the one with boost. He jumped out using the last of his boost and just missed. And that just opens it up. What a way to give away the lead.
You cannot make a mistake in the eyes of the Chiefs. Chiefs have been making the mistakes all day. But for Order, they will be punished.
And what a testament to the Chiefs, that even if they're not on top of their game, even if they're getting shut down by Order, by Tainted Minds with their passing, they're still able to take leads, they're still able to take advantages in series, and that was a close one from Drippe.
That was a good counter-attack from the Chiefs, though. Still able to push up with the help of Torsos. Drippe narrowly missing that other one, but still in a good position. Zen get it over the top of Kami. He can. That ball heading towards the backboard. The touch not good. Drippe comes in to finish it off, but the attack continues from Order. 40 seconds left remaining, and Order have a chance here to push through the Chiefs, but Zen has popped it up for Kami. The Chiefs are going to make something in off this corner, off the backboard. No one needs to commit. It just gives them more time. The clear's there, touching the roof. Almost.
Brilliant read from Torsos. He's so good at that. He's so good at the solo defense. Drippe as well. The defensive backboard clears are on point. It's so hard to get past this Chiefs defense, and then they get in attack and pass.
Everyone scrambling there from the Order defense. 10 seconds left remaining. And Order have just come so close here. Torsos, you can see, wasting a lot of time. They'll stay in the defense. Zen is going to have to pop it up. There's a last chance, but Drippe is denying it here. Off that backboard, that'll bounce back down. And for Order, it's getting dangerous here. 2-0 to the Chiefs.
It hurts just how close they're getting, and little tiny mistakes. Just one mistake can be all it takes for Order. Between Order going and winning and going to the World Championship and having that repeat of Dumbo falling just short.
And what hurts there is, speaking of falling short in that specific game, that's the one goal that made a difference. That's one move from Dumbo that doesn't send us to overtime, where there is a potential for Order to create that upset.
It's painful to watch, but when you are under pressure, when you're in this situation, you have to be able to perform. You can't get that chance on the world stage.
Yep.
If you're up against AU or NA, they're going to punish that every single time. Every single mistake will lead to a goal. And even though Chiefs aren't playing on top of their game, they've played internationally, they know what it takes to punish, and they're just doing it every time.
And every single time we get down to this point where, in the first series we said the same thing, it's Order versus Chiefs again. They found a game early on in the series as well. This is very different. This is game 2. This is Chiefs. Even though close,
it's rough.
It's rough, and it's a 2-0
And if they let this next game slip through their grasp, how are you meant to reverse sweep Chiefs under so much pressure?
Someone like
in the lower
Dumbo,
bracket,
who has been reverse swept, who has been in that position. He's never forced that upon
he has,
someone.
Literally, in his first ever season, in season 3, he reverse swept to get through the qualifiers.
Oh, that's
but
right.
that is a long time ago. And I do not see this version of his team getting through that way.
Well, Game 3 is going to be ever so important here. Remember, RLCS qualification. And then it comes back to the story of the Chiefs. Qualifying in the lower bracket. They've never done it before, but they want that qualification. They think they deserve to go back to RLCS for a 4th time. A lot of people would agree, but they have to show it.
It would be disappointing if the 5th team from last team's World Championship didn't make it back, but it is a distinct opportunity if Order can bring this game.
Game 3, though. Matters. Dumbo will not win with the challenge. Torsos given some freedom over here as well. Zen just gives the ball back to him. Order, You can see the pressure here. Drippay doesn't even look like he has boost. Kami finishes it off. What is going on?
And it was all set up by Torsos. He steals the boost, gets an interesting touch, and all of Order were stuck on the one-hand side. Drippay essentially fakes them out, even though he didn't get much of a touch of it at all. That is Order being nervous. That is Order really struggling on defense and not looking out for each other.
The SYF matchup made Order look so dominant, made Zen the ultimate playmaker. Order getting pushed back here by the Chiefs. The first goal is scored by exactly them. And the Chiefs continue to charge forward. Order need to break away from this grip, from this death grasp.
They lost the first two against SYF, and then they went dominant, 13 goals in a row. This is the time to start playing as fast as you can against the Chiefs.
Well, there's the first one. The shot almost ends up netting itself. Zen was there. Drippay now following through. Ground pinch ends up going away over to Zen for Order on the defense again. This comes in off the roof, almost hits the mark too. That was Kami. Chiefs getting so many opportunities.
It is just brutal how much of the possession they've got right now. And look at Zen and Jules.
Again and again.
Just all the way back, sitting in the net. No one challenging. They're so scared. They know the pass is coming out. They see it hit the roof. They know Kami's got a massive shot. And yet they do not have the ability to go out and stop it from happening.
They need to make a move. Order, you are going to be down 3-0 if this keeps up. And it is not the way to exit nor enter the OCE Championship Series. Drippay is getting free roam here, and Order are losing confidence for a team that has dominated parts of today. A good save there from Dumbo. Let's hope that gives them a bit more enthusiasm. Zen now, the solo play. No one's there to follow.
Good saves out from Order, but they have no boost. Chiefs have been draining them of resources every single time. You see the boost steals, you see them taking away the possession. And even now, Dumbo just going up for the ball and hoping for the best.
Zen will save that one away. Still on the defense. Chiefs turn it around pretty quickly here. 2 minutes 40 remaining. Now on the defense. That's a good pass back. Dumbo will hit the backboard. It'll come straight back down. Torsos lobs it up to the roof. Come on, Order. Get in there. They'll get the demo, but it's on to Dumbo. Dumbo, excuse me. Yes, I'm very sorry. Jules will come in off the right wing. Dumbo is waiting here with the center pass. Zen gets bumped out of the way. Order still struggling here. However, they might try. Kami back in on the attack.
You said at the beginning of the day that Chiefs were a tier above, that Tainted Minds were a tier above the rest of the competition. And if they win this game, if they win this series, they're proving that. No matter what, you cannot sleep on the Chiefs. You have to play your best, and Order are just not doing it.
Doesn't feel like the start of the day where Order were able to capitalize. They found 2 games. Game number 3 is looking pretty harsh here. It'll be another demo onto Dumbo. Jules around the midfield. He doesn't do anything with the ball. They just get freedom. Order on the defense, looking pretty shut out here.
But Zen is just running back to net. He was backwards then. He couldn't attack the ball. He couldn't get it clear. It's going to keep Chiefs in attack. They're going to continue barraging this net, and eventually something has to break.
Looks like it's going to be Order's net at this rate. 1 minute 20. 2 goals seems to be enough here. Putting up a good fight in game 1. Even game 2, it was slight. But Order just feels shut out now. It's a good infield pass, but it's to no one. Dumbo's nowhere near the ball. It's relying on Zen's individuality here, but that's not what Order have been about here today. They've worked better as a cohesive unit. They have shown that growth, but the potential seems to be lacking.
And that was the longest that Order have ever spent in the Chiefs half this game. They've just been absolutely brutalized in terms of possession. Chiefs have taken control.
Finally!
It only takes one opportunity for Jules.
And Jules committed. He sticks to the play. They got ingenious again. That was a great ground pinch. And Jules again.
He drew in both defenders.
Yep.
He waited for Torsos. He played it interesting. And he found that perfect 50-50. 46 seconds, and Order have to get this goal.
Zen just runs into Dumbo off the kickoff. This means Chiefs start in the attack. Off the backboard, Jules gets it through. Order, we want to see that play. We want to see the groundbreaking play. Force it to overtime. Get us that game 3. and let's see what you're made of.
Mistake from Kami, it could be punished, but luckily Drippay is there. Order have 25 seconds to keep themselves in here.
Zen around the midfield, going to try and punch the ticket back up here. A touch there from Jules again. Everyone's forward. Excuse me, that was Dumbo. Jules hanging back. The pass is good. Over to Dumbo. 1-2. The 3 missed by Jules.
And Jules have been keeping them all game, but not at that last second. The clock ticks down. Can they do it?
Jules blocked away. Sorry, Zen blocked away in the end, and Order had that chance. But 3-0 to the Chiefs, and it looks like they're ready to go back to RLCS.
Every single game feels so close, and Order, they had very little possession. Chiefs were dominating most of that match.
3 shots.
But we've seen it this week against Tainted Minds. We saw it last week against Tainted Minds.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much Chiefs can control a single game. They're still beatable.
They are.
Despite that possession factor, they're not getting those finishes on some moments, and Order could take advantage of that. This felt like their last chance.
This in Game 1 felt like their best chance, because the way they were playing against Chiefs in Game 1, it was not as predictable.
Well, it was sloppy as hell.
But still, for Order, that worked out like it did in the previous series, because when Chiefs are playing sloppy, you can capitalize. You can read them.
Zen wasn't outpacing Chiefs that game. That's why they didn't really feel like... I mean, their one goal was a 50-50. It was a dunk over the defense. It wasn't anything cleverly set up. It wasn't anything based off possession or anything like that. It's so hard now for Order because they're not even in control of this match, and they have to get 4 games in a row.
The reverse sweep for a team that was expected to maybe only just get through the lower bracket.
It's so hard as well. Zen in his first season. Jules, he went to the World Championship. He felt so bad about himself. He always thought that Kami and CJ were the ones carrying him, despite him having great performances. And this is going to really get to him if he loses. And then you have Dumbo, who just every single season gets a taste. He's even been there in Season 2. He visited Amsterdam. And now he has to do 4 more games of this.
Okay, Order. 14 seconds in, that's a change of pace. There's a good touch as well by Dumbo. These explosive goals, we have not seen these yet.
That's how they beat Tainted Minds last week. Dumbo was playing forward. He was getting in the way of the Chiefs' defense and getting the redirects. Maybe that's how they do it.
Nothing to lose, they may be saying. They might be saying all hope is lost, but it's not just yet. Reverse sweep is still there in the cards. Dumbo with the demo. Kami pops it up. Jules going to hang back a little bit, but Zen's there with the intercept, blocked away, otherwise that net was fair game. Dumbo comes back in. Jules almost directs it towards the back. And that lead for Order, that's a promising side here in Game 4. Zen will almost get the reset off. He bounces it. Dumbo comes back in. The bounce is not good for Jules.
Zen just should be taking the shot there. He shouldn't be trying to get clever. It's not where he's going to get most of his goals from, even if he's so good at the individual plays.
Trying to get back on the attack, though, and this is more possession coming through for Order. The touch there for Dumbo, but Zen doesn't look like he wants to commit. Leaves it for Dumbo again. Bounces over the top of Torsos. Defense continues for Chiefs.
Chiefs just feel like they're playing it so slow, so calm. They're in defense. I don't like it. I want them to play fast and really put Order on their back foot.
Yeah, that early goal seems to have brought them back a little bit. Kami gets the demo onto Jules. Torsos is there. Kami comes back in. Gangle was good, but waiting for Drippay to finish it off. Dumbo there to the ball. Zen will clear it away.
I'm surprised Zen had any boost left. They put it up in the air multiple times. It double committed as well. Zen probably just using the last of it to get that save.
Dumbo there couldn't get an ideal touch off the front. Unfortunately, goes back to Order's defense. That one goal, does it hold? Crossbar. Comes close for Chiefs from the corner. Torsos continues to play, but they get it through. This is a chance for Order, but Drippay just comes straight past the midfield and gives it back to Kami.
Massive saviour from Drippay. He's so calm under pressure. And this is why he is one of the best, if not the best player in OCE.
Order have found an opening there off the backboard. Jules has already gone up off the roof. It bounces down to the goal square. Away it goes as the Chiefs still hold on. They get a massive clear over to Kami. What an angle there, but the crossbar, not the friend of the Chiefs.
Order hold on just by the skin of their teeth. Order trying to make this big comeback. They're still in it, but it just feels so difficult.
Possession was great for Order at the start, but they've returned to the defense here. We'll get the clear. Eventually, Chiefs might get the attack once again on their heads.
They're winning out the 50-50s in the midfield. Dumbo and Zen. That's their job right now. Just take a player out, win the 50s, win the challenges, and that is going to prevent Chiefs from getting the opportunity.
You want to see if Order are going out here, you want to see them going out swinging. And for this fourth game, not only does it raise the possibility of that reverse sweep, it also sets the tone for Order and their season. Where are they going? Are they staying in Australia? Or are they going to Las Vegas?
It is so far away right now. 4 games against the Chiefs, and Chiefs are still finding opportunities here. They're still finding 1, 2, but no 3. Or is that now? There's a completely open net.
Set up from the defensive order. Chiefs find their first. All the way through the field there, Yummy Cheese Man.
Zen. He needed to hit the half volley. Torsos was ready for the mistouch, and the Order defense was not. Is this another opportunity that they've completely squandered?
It feels like the story of Order coming into this tournament was the potential, the underdogs. And in Series 1 against the Chiefs at the start of today, they proved they are worthy to be here. Against SYF Gaming, they proved the same thing. But up against Chiefs, is the foe too mighty? Chiefs want to return to RLCS. In the lower bracket, they want to make the run. It feels like the possibilities there. Good save there from Dumbo. Order not out of this yet.
It was Chiefs' chance to get a little bit of luck. Look at Order. They're just jumping up like lemmings off a cliff, and they're not getting to that ball. Chiefs just putting them so much under pressure, along with the fact that this is do or die.
Hang on, that backboard's not defended. It hits the crossbar. Order had that opportunity down and dusted.
Torsos a little bit of extra luck twice in a row now for the Chiefs. And that is, I think, a turn of event. I think, realistically, Order had a bit more luck earlier on in the series. So maybe this is what Chiefs need to put this across the line.
Well, 45 seconds, they're holding the midfield out. That's a great touch by Kami. Takes it solo. Chiefs setting up the play. Almost the nail in the coffin. Torsos comes back in. You have to say, stylistically, the Chiefs there looking great.
Is this going to be another overtime to keep Order alive? Is this it? Is this what it all comes down to? Can someone get the goal before regulation time
Hopes
ends?
and dreams here for Order on the line. The reverse sweep also on that same line. And right now it feels like it's a washing line because they're putting them out to dry. 15 seconds remaining. Jules gets the breakaway. This is Order's moment. Jules gets the demo too. Drippe will be coming back up. Zen pops it forward. Order have a chance. Jules won't commit. They need to stop this ball. Chiefs on the backboard. It'll be cleared away. Kami keeps it up, but that's eventually going to land down. Jules says no. Order want to take the risk here of the play. Jules will come back in, but eventually it hits the ground, and it's overtime for life for Order.
That clear was enough to give them that time. Order now in another overtime. They've struggled. There seems to be an open net. The Dumbo just clutching it out.
But we're expecting the Chiefs here to put up a performance to return to RLCS. They find an opening, but both players miss it. Bump away by Dumbo. The Chiefs are 1 game away, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, to returning to the world stage.
They want to go back. They want to get revenge against Cloud9. They want to get to the end stage, to the grand final. But first, they have to finish off this series.
Dropping down to Tainted. They go into the grand final with that 1 game disadvantage if they get there. And it looks like they're close all the way through the back of the net. The ball sweeps and no goal.
I've never felt so many stomach knots in my life. It's been so close. Order have been just getting away with this last one. They need to hold on. That is just wide. No. It could go in. Torsos!
They find it. The Chiefs return to the world stage, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, oh boy, for all that's punishing for Order.
The punishment time and time again. 2 overtimes, 2 series, though 1 goal. Chiefs managed to hold on, get their spot back at the World Championship to prove themselves once more.
We were wondering if the Chiefs could make that run back up, if they could find themselves in the finals. They give you a firm answer with a 4-0 against Order. And try as they might, Order do not come close to the might of the Chiefs. We have ourselves our same 2 RLCS participants again, gentlemen.
Well, this is dark-sided now, but it's Chiefs. And what a disappointment for Dumbo.
That is a definite feels bad. I feel my heart bleeds for Jules as well. Both of them in such a situation. He had such a strong performance at the beginning of the game, leading the charge for his team, but not enough.
It was a really dominant showing in the end. Like the scoreline at the end, a straight 4-0. When people will look back to this, in future OCE championships and whatnot, they'll think of it as like another one of those times that the Chiefs essentially dominated in
This
the
is
lower
the
end.
first 4-0 in the lower bracket qualifier match. So
so.
it was a very dominant qualification. They were ahead, but there were 2 overtimes. It wasn't as convincing as it could be, but that doesn't matter for the Chiefs.
I mean, if you look at Game 3, that was kind of where it started to end. When there was a stage where 4 minutes in, it was 11 shots to 1 before they got that little bit of possession back, but that was kind of the indicator for me. It was the beginning of the end.
I think for Chiefs, though, they'll look at this game and they go, right, we have to do even better than this as well. Like, against Tainted Minds and the old Dark-Sided, they have to do even better in the finals. Against Order, there was so many opportunities for Chiefs to fail. I think they've firmed up some of their issues from the start of today when they looked like a completely different team, and not in a good way.
Well, the odds are totally stacked against them now is because none of the teams that have gone into the lower bracket have ended up, winning the finals.
None of those teams have been the Chiefs, though.
None of the teams have even got into the grand final. So, I mean, it is hard to say. It is the Chiefs. They can beat anyone. They'll still be confident going into the grand final, but they don't care. They've made it to the World Championship. They've got their spot. They've done everything they need to do, and so they can relax a bit.
Yeah, the important thing is now done. I mean, seeding is good, but
seeding
getting to RLCS is step
on that
one.
note as well, seeding is really important this season, especially when you look at NA and EU back-to-back.
Why?
Because I don't want to verse E. If you're the first seed, you want to be versing NA.
Why?
Would you not?
Well, I think EG...
No, the analysts
Not
tell
particularly,
me.
not as much in previous seasons. In
Yeah.
previous seasons, if you
All right.
came in as second, you're instantly like, all right, we're going straight to the lower bracket.
Yeah.
Life's going to be really hard.
Wave
But-
at Northern Gaming on the way through.
Well, EG definitely, they're definitely a team that we could beat as well. So that is...
Team that we have beat.
It is a different EG roster. I think that is definitely a possibility, but I think the EU teams, especially considering last season how both the teams went against Envy, that's definitely beatable as well, whoever comes fourth in EU. So I don't think it really goes down to seeding, but it definitely goes down to a lot of that
I reckon we could-
revenge factor.
Yeah, the whole grudge match now
Yeah.
is the fact that the Chiefs have come back and they're like, no, we want blood right now. Like, I don't care about RLCS right now. This is between Tainted Minds and us.
The brass
And
knuckles are gonna
especially
be
for
coming
Kami
out.
as well. Kami's going to be in there and be like, no. I'm so much better than you guys, you don't even know it. That's, look, in my mind is what's going to happen into this next matchup.
I think that's pretty fair, and I think going forward, the Chiefs want to secure first seed like they always have. It's a statement for OCE. It's a statement for the Chiefs, and we're going to find out next as we move towards our grand finals, look towards seeding. Congratulations towards the Chiefs, and of course, Tainted Minds again. We're going to have a 5-minute break, return with the grand final.
Breathing underwater now, I can't let go. Underwater. got me feeling alone. So long, darling. Right here and now. We can try this again. If you're in, I'm in, darling. I finally see what I need to be free. Far from what I was meant to be. No holding back, I've made up my mind. Seeing what's next, I'm not sure at all. Holding the key firmly in my hands. I'm looking for, I know where I stand. And this is it, I have nothing to lose. Now is the right time, I'm making my move.
They could be the first team to return, other than the Chiefs. They could be the team looking to do what the second seed has never done before, take out someone from the World Championship.
Blood in there, the angle from the side, a big clear, CJ throws the ball in!
There's blood on the pitch.
Welcome back to the Rocket League OCE Championship, this time to the grand final between Tainted Minds and Chiefs. Both teams already qualifying there for RLCS. It's a World Championship. They're looking for seeding here. I'm joined by Courier Lord, Yummy Cheeseman, Jake the Tyrant Edwards, and myself, Hysterics. And Tyrant, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
This is the matchup
Not for long.
that you know. You know this matchup better than any of us.
Not really. I haven't played the new Tainted.
No, but I mean,
This is the old Darksided.
Yeah, I know, but you've beaten Darksided before. You've also played. You've still played this matchup, so yes, you do know it better than any of us.
It's still interesting because like this isn't Darksided, right? Like it's Darksided.
You
It's
guys
a
are fucking
completely
me
different
around.
Darksided.
And then it's Tainted Minds, but it's not. Like I think this is a really high quality
But
team.
see, that's why I call it Tainted Minds, not just because of the name and because Yummy thinks I'm two-dimensional, but because this still feels like the old Tainted Minds.
No, they're definitely playing way closer to Tainted Minds. And look, we were really confident against the old Tainted Minds, but I mean, that 4-2 was very convincing. This Tainted Minds is looking a lot better.
Chiefs are not going to be happy, though.
Oh, they're going to be cranky.
They were not happy after league play when they lost. They're not going to be happy today. And they're going to be looking to prove to everyone that they're better.
It's kind of like the Alien Predator hybrid moment where you've created the perfect beast to take down Chiefs. Like, you got the dark-sided demos and that midfield pressure, mixed with the fact Tainted Minds is just so fast and always in your face.
The problem is that Tainted have a one-game advantage, so that makes it even harder for the Chiefs.
Yep, that's rough for Chiefs.
You can't have the late start drip A in this anymore.
Huh?
You can't have the late start drip A. You can't have drip A wait 2 games to warm up when you already are 1 game down.
Last series I was like, wow, it's game 3 and Drip A hasn't scored any goals yet. And then he scores a hat-trick and I'm like, oh, well,
There we go, we're back in.
there's your stats.
On that note as well, for Tainted Minds, yes, you guys said it really well before. It is a grudge match from earlier today.
Yeah.
We just saw Order taking on Chiefs before, and that felt like an Order grudge match. But this is now the Chiefs proving their point that they had a bit of a mishap against Tainted Minds before. They are still the first
It's not
seed.
just the grudge match, but Chiefs have never not won the OCE Championship.
That's right.
They've never not been the best team unequivocally in OCE.
I think it almost plays it down to play at a grudge match. This is like pride for Chiefs. Chiefs are the #1 team in Australia, and Tainted is threatening that, and that's going to like really hurt their prides and egos, and they're going to be
If
desperate
Tainted take this, they're unequivocally, they're definitely the best team.
I mean, this would be like third time the charm, right? If you can beat them in the league play, beat them in the upper bracket, then beat them in the lower bracket as well, that's just over. Like Tainted Minds
But
top seed.
you know what's great about this story as well? If Tainted Minds can secure first seed, then it's Shady, who's never been to RLCS, goes, puts himself in front of hundreds of thousands of people, maybe even millions, as this is one of the best players in OCE. You haven't met him before, this is Shady.
It's got a good beard.
Well, I mean, Shady's always been around. He's always been great. It's been kind of tragic that he hasn't been there yet, but he's definitely kept up with everyone who has gone over.
It's been so good to see him, well, I'm going to say this, not choke. Today
he was amazing. He was amazing.
Playing
He's been
really well.
consistently good.
Yeah.
And we saw him in previous seasons. We saw that he could be the best player in these high-pressure scenarios, but then there was always just a point where he crumbled, and he hasn't done that.
I was surprised because I was watching Shady closely. I was like, when's it coming? When's it coming?
It's good because he's put a lot of work into it.
We had the conversation backstage before where it's like, who has been the weakest link on Tainted Minds? Like, what's not leveraged the situation to stomp? And it's like, nobody. Like, the reason they're playing well is, like, Shady is playing well, matching the pace.
Yeah, they were so fast, and that one game 5 where they broke down was everyone just being awful.
Which
so.
is so important coming into this series because the Chiefs are going to punish that. If Tainted Minds give them that breathing room, then we're going to see a very different series. However, this is the grand final. Both teams are comfortable with RLCS, but they want more. Jake, let's start with your prediction before we go in. This is the final match of the OCE Championship for 2018. Start us off.
It's really close because obviously, like, Chiefs are a bit more warmed up now, and I think, like, Chiefs do have a lot of quality, and they probably didn't show it against Tainted. But at the same time, with the game match, how dominant it was before, I have to go with Tainted again.
That's fair.
I went back and forth on this one. I know that Chiefs can beat anyone. They can just take down whoever is in their path, but I've switched it. They've got the one game advantage.
You're a flip-flopper.
It's gone to Tainted. I'm not flip-flopping. I'm going with the Tainted Minds. They've got the one game advantage. I think that's going to be enough to get them over the line.
I'm gonna buck the trend. I mean, they've lost twice to Tainted, but I have full faith in angry, sad Torsos to be like, okay, I've lost twice. Someone needs to die.
What is it with the person here always
this
going
could
Chiefs?
be a proof as well that Torsos maybe was nervous today. If he does play well, in this situation where it's not a lot of pressure on them, they have already made it.
He definitely played a lot better last series, but that was a lot more relaxed. They definitely weren't threatened. I'm wondering if that, like, emotion of sad, angry Torsos is affecting his gameplay.
I have full faith in Torsos. Chiefs are going to win, and Torsos is going to
I'm not going to put it on emotions. I just think Tainted Minds are the better team right now. I think Chiefs have lost some of their spark. They lost their best player, and now they...
Wow.
No, honestly, in retrospect, I think this is the day for Tainted Minds. I think this is the championship for Tainted Minds. I think there is nothing stopping them. And if CJ's on, my God, you know about it. CJ is on. I like CJ.
Same with Express. Those two,
Express
those two combined, like, it's so hard to separate them.
But that's what's been so powerful today, because like, it was just CJ and Express all league play, but Shady's been in their face as well. It's been great to see.
It's been
Yeah,
huge.
really given the third man, so they have a full rotation of passes.
Tainted Minds and Chiefs. We move into the grand final now. Remember, Tainted Minds have that game 1 lead. Of course, coming through in the upper bracket. So it is game 2. If you ever hear me talk about game 1, I'm lying. This is game 2. Chiefs and Tainted Minds, a grudge match of sorts. Tainted Minds took them to the cleaner earlier today, and Chiefs want to take them back.
And it's a strong showing already. Tainted Minds already getting in their faces. The shots are coming out, and Chiefs are on defense.
They're in front of net. The defense continues. Shady has a shot. Second one comes through. He even gets Kami in the process. And Tainted Minds fast to the ball. We know them for that, but Chiefs are trying to match that pace.
Is it going to be enough to break out, though? Immediately push back into their half. That's been nearly 45 seconds of pure aggression of Tainted Minds.
And if Stripbay's not on, we've called it. We said that Chiefs would not feel like the Chiefs we know and love. And the passing comes through. Tainted Minds. They really are on today here, Korea. Kami comes in with the intercept, though, and Chiefs won't find anything more.
Yeah, CJ too quick before the double touch can come out from Kami. They need to start utilizing those passes, otherwise they're just going to get pressure.
Another shot comes through, this time Trippay with the save. Tainted Minds have already had a couple to start us off. Excuse me, Shady comes in midway. Trippay meets him. What I love about this matchup, Korea, it's always so exciting. Express takes another shot. It's always so fast. And it's always so in your face like Tainted Minds.
It's so strange to see Chiefs on the back foot, and Tainted Minds using a demo to open up the net now will force the scramble from Chiefs.
Shady's up for the ball off that back wall. It's a good touch there from Chiefs. They stand tall, and again, they go back down. Oh, it's a close call, but Chiefs, again, managed to hold out in this defense. Drippay staying in front of that net, but the angle's right. Torsos reads it perfectly too.
Yeah, right in the nick of time, and all the players are so low on boost right now, so if you can manage to squeeze out and pick up the 100, it's going to be critical.
You see Express just bullying around the defender there from Chiefs. They get it through, and the attack continues now this time for Chiefs. But off the roof, Express hands it off to Drippay. Happy to take the challenge is Shady. Torsos doesn't get that touch. Kami comes through, bumped away by Shady, but eventually Torsos gets control. Up for the ball is Express. No goal just yet, but Chiefs in front of that net. Kami drops it down. Express now going to run away with it.
We talked about how Shady has been performing, and we're seeing some great bumps out of here as he creates pressure, and you can see him ready to receive the pass that's going to come from CJ.
CJ, good pass against the wall. Shady was waiting to nail it down, but Chiefs get away with it again. Trippay and Torsos off the wall. They act as that two-man unit, but Express has got other ideas with the ball. It'll bounce in around that corner. Shady centers it this time. Trippay gets an early savior medal here in game 1.
It just shows that Tainted Minds has him on the back foot. You don't get those opportunities if you are controlling the game. And this is Tainted Minds just showing Chiefs who is in control.
Trying to shut them down. Kami now comes up head-to-head with Shady. CJ again in. Express around the corner. This time Tainted Minds get a save, but it's going to be one of their first. Chiefs on that back foot, as you said, Korea. CJ comes in. He's coming in fast. He's got no boost. He'll recover on the way back, and Chiefs just trying to use this control to get some pacing on the ball.
Despite the fact that all the possession has gone to Tainted Minds, Chiefs aren't feeling like they're entirely out. They're still getting opportunities like this.
What a shot there from Torsos, set up nicely by Chiefs, but the massive clear that comes through from Tainted Minds has given them more windows of opportunity. Kami this time finds an open net, and the Chiefs strike hard.
Drippe with that amazing setup, facilitating Kami to follow up through, and they realizes we have enough time. We've forced Tainted Minds to overextend, and they've utilized all that pressure that Tainted Minds have pushed forward and thrown it right back
and
at
Chiefs
them.
caught out once again. Tainted Minds caught out once again. So aggressive in their plays, pushing up, and the midfield getting breached once more. Chiefs find that first goal with a low-scoring affair at 1 minute 30. That could be all it takes.
I mean, when you look at Chiefs, they're very difficult to score upon, with about a 1.25 or so average against them. They have to get the goals.
Finally, all day today, we've seen Drippe try to react to this pass from Torsos, and he gets it this time. Nicely done from the Chiefs.
This has got to be a worrying moment here for Tainted Minds. Drippe has been slow to start through the series, and if he pops off game one and can carry it all the way through, may mitigate that one-game advantage.
Game 2, Korea, don't forget, otherwise it's going to hurt me in the long run. Game number 2 here, 2-0 for the Chiefs. Otherwise, I'll just be lost. I'll be calling game 2, game 3, and so on. Chiefs continue their attack, but this is an open net, Korea. 1-0. Or 1 goal, excuse me, for Tainted Minds.
I mean, they're down, but they're not out. And with both teams fighting so hard for it, it can easily flip on a dime.
1 minute remaining. That was 1 goal. That was 1 opening there for the Chiefs. 1 opening they let through. What else can happen here? When these guys fight back, I'm talking about Tainted Minds, it looks brutal. They're down on the attack once more.
Yeah, Tainted Minds starting to utilize some bumps and demos as well. They normally pull this out later into the game, but I think it may be a counter to the fact that Kami has used so many to try soften the midfield.
The Express was coming in aggressive there as well. CJ directly on net, but Drippe with the save. CJ bumps through onto Torsos, but nothing happens. Shady off that back wall, Express is there. It bounces back and forth. 40 seconds remaining. CJ comes in as well. 1 goal still holding the difference here for both teams. 30 seconds remaining. Torsos sets up the play. Drippe reacts well, and this net is firing hard. CJ directly down the other field with the clear. Shady won't be able to punch it up anymore, but CJ with the passing play, not on net, the 3rd member necessary.
Torsos with that important intercept, breaking down the Tainted Minds play, and the aerial control coming out of Chiefs is either going to run the clock or set up scoring potential.
Look at Kami, just comes down slow as well, knows the 10 seconds left on the clock, plays with it perfectly, but Tainted Minds, they've set up positioning again, the bouncer down at 1 second remaining.
That is a heart-wrencher. 1 second left on the clock. We are going to have our first overtime in the best of 7 to decide who's the best of OCE.
And it was the pass again. Tainted Minds love this backboard like it's their father. 2-2 in game 2, and Tainted Minds bring us to overtime. Why not?
What a way to show your biggest rivals what's about to go down. Not only do you have that Chiefs versus Dark-Sided roster fight, but you also have Kami and CJ, the 2 lone survivors, the old Tainted Minds.
Oh, Chiefs again. Torsos, cheeky little devil off that kickoff. Only 10 seconds, but Chiefs have set up control. Drippe from the corner, a good bump by CJ. They can't get it through Torsos. It's CJ still on the defense, but he's willing to dribble it over the top. He pops it through. Drippe centers it, but Tainted Minds might be able to break away if they get it through Kami, and they do. Over the top, 30 seconds, Chiefs on the defense.
And they're starting to control, though. The possession is flipped over. Chiefs are feeling like they have a lot more control. The aerial play coming up, but Shady defense too strong.
What a great read from Shady as well. Reacts instantly, but Chiefs are here. Kami, the save up from CJ. His old teammate betrays him. And with 50 seconds into overtime, Chiefs have just been hitting down on this net.
But now the Tainted Minds offense is what they have to face. Whether or not they can hold it against the potential demos coming out as well is something to be seen.
CJ tries to get an infield pass there, but Torsos reads it perfectly. The defensive pass again, but Shady off the wall. Express pops it up. Look at Tainted Minds. Their creativity's getting red. Not until CJ comes through. Express is sitting in net. They pop it up the roof. CJ managed to pick up boost on the way through. He'll be able to keep the play down this side of the field. Kami cannot clear it far enough as CJ lobs it up, ready for Shady, but it's just given room to Torsos. Express, save your medal there, well deserved.
So much strong defense coming out of both teams. Neither of them wanting to take too much risk, and when they take those aerial plays to reset and allow their team to reposition, it is slowing down the game.
I mean, Tainted should have been out of this game. It was a 1-second goal that brought them into overtime, but 1:45. Chiefs are still here down this side of the field, looking to put an end to game 2 and equalize. Shady off the wall, he'll bounce it towards Torsos, but they're on the defensive side. This is Tainted place to play. Torsos from around the corner. Express wins over the challenge, but Drippe is committed as well. No boost needed. CJ all the way to Torsos, but as Torsos picks up the boost, what can he do with it? He leaves it. Shady's going to get control from here as well. CJ leaves it, and everyone right now playing favor games with the ball. Touch there, the demo onto Kami. CJ will just try and get it out of here.
Kami does spawn at the back, though, and allowing them to have that defense if Tainted Minds do get the big clear.
What a punch through from Express. Drippe has to be careful how he plays. He doesn't have boost. Shady from around the corner is in the same predicament. Express with a pass in center field. CJ goes wide. Oh, I love these two teams. 2 minutes 40 into overtime, folks. I hope it doesn't end anytime soon. Shady's up for the ball. That backboard is being peppered, but Express is here. There it is from Tainted Minds. Welcome to Game 3.
Express takes them into the overtime and then takes them back out of it as well. That is a 2-game lead for Tainted Minds against Chiefs.
This happens every single time we watch these two teams today, Courier. Tainted Minds manage to climb their way back if they're at a deficit. Against the Chiefs here, you have to applaud them. They are putting on a star show. Express got his hat trick towards the end of that game. His 695 in the grand final. And Drippe as well. Let's compliment him at 690. What a performance from some of these guys.
That's what I want to see from the first game, right? Both of them coming out guns blazing, hungry they play.
And remember, if Tainted Minds get this grand final win, they will be the first team ever in the Rocket League OCE Championship to snag first. That isn't the Chiefs. The Chiefs every single season have gotten first. And might I add, it's been 4-0, 4-1s.
Yeah, they have. I think I said it earlier. They have a 93% win chance against Tainted Minds.
That's individual game. Is that individual games?
Yeah,
in the finals.
So
it's not even series.
Yeah, so the fact that Tainted Minds have already come back this far is already a record. The fact that Chiefs got knocked into lower bracket is another record. If they can beat them again, that's like 3 records in the course of a day.
And I know that, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is old dark side roster. You know, we keep bringing it up as well. But it feels more like the Tainted Minds roster that we knew and love. And, you know, we love all our teams, of course. We love everyone. But this Tainted Minds ex-Dark-Sided roster is working together so nicely.
Oh, it's like the best of both worlds. They've found like some pastiche of the two past teams that were fighting against Chiefs and taking the best of both.
You know what I'm excited for? To see them on the world stage this time. CJ might get a bigger car to ride out in. I don't know. Maybe he gets a truck. You know what I'd do? You're Australian. Go out in a tractor. Listen and know that's John Denver's American.
I want them to skydive in. Shady's going to have his plane and he's just going to fly on in.
Or maybe in a kangaroo. Who knows? Let's go out the Australian style. Game 3, though, Tainted Minds to get that first seed here. They are fighting hard. And in Game 3, they have a 2-0 lead. This is unpredictable here, but Chiefs, they strike first again.
Chiefs with that early start. Tainted Minds took the lead in possession last game, but Chiefs are very aggressive, winning out the 50-50s off Kami, who's had a phenomenal second half of the day.
What an impressive start there from the Chiefs, though, off the kickoff. 13 seconds in to this Game 3.
He has so much to prove. Not only does he need to show up CJ, his old pal, he needs to prove that he's going to be a better replacement from Jake going up against the teams like Cloud9 and G2.
Absolutely, especially when there's so much pressure on the new person of the team. Everyone knows Drippe and Torsos, but everyone knows Kami from Tainted Minds. They don't know how he fits in this roster, and this game's to show it. Tainted Minds in front of the Chiefs defense right now, but a big clear there sets up Drippe to boom it into the corner, give Torsos the ball. It's still control from the Chiefs. Shady doesn't get anything done with it. Express has to come through, but Drippe keeps it around the midfield.
Yeah, Torsos made it incredibly awkward there, trying to get some bumps going through. At least it puts them out of position as they try to dodge.
CJ with the center there all the way over. It's Express and CJ together. Both members commit to the ball. Express looking for the demo, the bump. CJ comes in off the roof. He's run out of boost, so the play resets. Express stops it for the time being, but because CJ got the demo, this is going to continue. A mid-interface there with CJ and the attack of Chiefs. They're able to push back up, and the Chiefs looking a lot stronger here in this game.
Yeah, they've definitely got a lot more brazen pushing forward, but the backboard defense of Tainted Minds halting all the pressure plays that they're trying to start.
Small little pass there from Kami to Torsos, trying to get through the center field. Kami continues forward, now off the ramp. You won't find anything more. CJ pops it forward, Torsos up in the midfield again. Tries to get it in off the wing. Drippe using that momentum, but a good block there by Shady. Not good enough for Kami.
Shady knew it was coming. He went straight for that rear post on 2 consecutive rotations, but it's not enough. Chiefs with that perfect read come from the far side. Kami pulls that open net.
2-0, 3 minutes 23. This is starting to heat up. And remember, I said before, with Order and Chiefs, it was spice. It was, I can't remember what else went into the mix, but it was a mix and pot. This one right here, this is an extra level. And Chiefs with a 2-0 lead, they look confident again. But for CJ, you always need to keep an eye out for him. You never know when he's coming in.
I love to see the Torsos demo come out. That is when he's taking it serious, because he very rarely does, but it normally is pivotal in deciding a game.
CJ and Shady. Shady comes back up after that. Express hanging back in the defense. Off the roof, he'll read it quite well. 3 minutes left remaining. The Chiefs come in for the collision course. Kami ends up going over to Drippe, but Drippe leaves it, and Shady left with the corner ball. Tries to do something with it, but Drippe going to set this one up again. Looks like Kami ready to punch it up. Gets the first touch, the second one. Nothing happens with the dribble, and it's just Express and Shady left on their lonesome. Drippe pops it up. What's going on there? Express will save it away, but Tainted Minds on the defense struggling a little bit there.
Slow on the follow-up there from Chiefs, though. Drippe pulling out 2 players, enabled the open goal. Shady, thankfully, with his knock-up, brought them some space, but I would expect Chiefs to have more follow-up there.
Torsos again looking for the reset. Kami waits in the center field, and CJ just going to push it forward. Tainted Minds losing a lot of their speed here in the grand final.
Awkward position there by Shady is going to allow Chiefs to have way more control than they should, and potentially can score off the back of it.
Everyone's scrambling for the defense. Express, another savior medal. I believe he got one in the previous game. Kami, up goes the ball again. Chiefs sticking around in the attack. It's not good for Tainted, but great to see the Chiefs come to life.
Showing them so much respect as well. Tainted Minds are sticking to a 2-man defense. The third man not even roaming to the midfield in case it goes well.
That was the opportunity you were waiting for. But the Chiefs don't find it. 1 minute 40. Tainted Minds already clawed their way back in game 2. And I tell you what, nothing's impossible here for these two teams. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. See if anything can happen. Express is find the breach. Bound, excuse me. That is the past tense. 1 minute 30 remaining. The punch down. Tainted Minds in good position here. CJ will wait for it. It comes in off the wall. He just passes it over to Shady. Intercept almost 100% completed. Tainted Minds won't be able to find the sink. Again, CJ comes back in. Again, won't find anything.
They're playing a little bit differently from what I was expecting. When they're down, normally they go super aggressive and go all the way in. But they're playing much more closely to the midfield line, and I think it's running the clock too quickly when Chiefs have such a strong defense.
Absolutely. Tainted Minds, that confidence seems to be seeking back a little bit here. Shady coming around the corner, wants to read Chiefs. Really Tainted Minds getting a lot more confident than this, especially today. Normally Tainted Minds, they'd be the red team here in this matchup. Orange, excuse me. But today is not the day. Tainted Minds beating the Chiefs before. Convincing manner too. 33 seconds remaining here. Chiefs might have done enough. Pour their way back. CJ saying no. And again, Shady pops his way up. In comes Express. CJ hangs back, but for Tainted Minds, they're in front of that net. They're towards it. Just can't get anything done.
Yeah, the pressure just coming out may not be enough to clinch it. With 16 seconds, that's pretty much the game. And we're just seeing the importance of that free game from winning that upper bracket.
Yeah, now, especially after what happened last game there, Korea.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs get denied another goal, but they've got 2 of their own. They've got enough. The Chiefs ever so close to making this an even game. The ball hit the ground, and 1 goes towards them in game 3.
Strong performance there from Chiefs. I think they have so much more control that one, and that was a showing that if they can keep consistent, they're going to absolutely dominate. It's well reflected there on the shots. You have 10-2. Drippe alone just running around them. Yeah, it was a large factor of them being locked in their half for most of the game. The only scoring potential they have was when they were trying to get those breakaway counterattacks.
I mean, CJ got 1 save. That was the score for him for that whole game. Tainted Minds a little bit silent there in game 3. Like you said, that 1 game advantage is great, especially since game 2 went over to Tainted Minds.
Yeah.
So then we go, all right, what else can Chiefs do? Because at this point, Chiefs are showing that they're not a silent lamb ready for the slaughter.
Exactly that. And I think it's going to be a case of whether or not Tainted Minds changes what they're doing. Because at the moment, Chiefs had a very commanding lead in that game.
Yep.
Like, entirely one-sided. So it's whether or not Tainted Minds picks back up and gets a little bit more brazen. They gave them so much breathing room, and they allowed Chiefs to be the mechanical and very, very clinical player.
I just saw Tainted Minds there having the audience vote. It was 59-60%. I'm sure after that game, people start betting on the Chiefs again a little bit as well, because it makes it a bit more interesting.
Come back to equilibrium.
Well, the Chiefs would have had that vote. Any other OCE championship, Chiefs have the vote by 70-80%.
It's probably a new record itself.
But for people to lock in the bets of 60% for Tainted Minds is great to see. It's showing that people want to support the best team at the moment. It still looks like Tainted Minds. We'll have to see in Game 4 if the Chiefs can get us to an equal one, or if Tainted Minds are going to bring their pace back up and show us their confidence.
Times they are a-changing.
You sing fantastically, but for Tainted Minds, they haven't sung the song yet. The Bat Lady isn't singing, and we're not going to see the end for a little while. It looks like Shady will go over the top or underneath the ball. The Chiefs trying to punch their ticket in first seed. Drippe, what a pass by Kami.
Another strong showing. Drippe coming out fast off the back of Kami, who's done a phenomenal job adapting to this team, and we can see why they picked him up after Jake retired.
1-0. He didn't retire. 19 seconds. He's casting now, crew. That's not retiring. It's just the start of your career. Chiefs have got 1 goal on the board early again. Torsos just finds the breach through. That would have been a sick double touch. He can't get it. Drippe comes back in with the angle. Shady, second defense there from Tainted Minds. The Chiefs, they just look in form here. Starting Game 3, they have woken up.
Every single time the ball went up, then they beat them to it. That was 4 consecutive times the ball went up, Tainted Minds went to contest, and then lost the challenge.
Courier, there's just something beautiful in watching the Chiefs. Right place, right time is the best way to put it.
It's clinical.
Clinical's also another way to put it. 2 goals in 40 seconds. This is not the Chiefs from earlier today. This is the Chiefs we're expecting to come in.
It's a bit of a Goku moment. You know, we've gone through the first part of the arc. Now he's going full Super Saiyan and turning it right back around.
Yeah, except it hasn't taken 40 episodes to get there. At the moment, Tainted Minds in front of net. That's a great pass. And Tainted are on the board.
It's the turnaround now. 1 goal is easily changeable in the scope of 4 minutes. And with Express and CJ working together, sneaking past on that right-hand side, it's something they can utilize to go forward, because they have been struggling to get those aerial clears to work forward.
They've also been struggling to get out of the defense. The clears have been intercepted each and every time. Chiefs have been quite on top of the ball. But Tainted Minds want to see more of that, because it's just been so different to the play they've seen. Shady with a massive clear that's going to help their cause.
And with Shady performing as well, being able to use that 3-man roster a lot more wisely and have more aggressive attacks. I want to see the pass plays come out. We haven't seen the Tainted Mind pass.
Tosses up the ball. Shady directly on net again. Kami and Drippe both commit for it. CJ's still here, got plenty of boost. What an angle there, but what a save by Kami. Again for Tainted Minds. Express misses. Can CJ fix this mistake? Hits the roof once more. But Tainted Minds, not often do you see a miss from Express.
Now, he's the very consistent player. He's the one you put in that middling position, and he will fill out whatever part of the roster you need, because he doesn't falter.
CJ trying to fix that and push it back forward. Express to lob it up the field, but doesn't get a punt on it whatsoever. Torso still here. CJ to duck it down. Drippe intercepts. Tainted Mind giving room to the Chiefs. Torsos is still here. No one's on him. He gets a free shot at goal.
It's really hard to know what to do in those situations. You've seen the first player coming out from the demo. Express pretty much entirely taken out, having to reposition, and Shady went for the pre-jump. Express had no idea whether or not the connection was going to go, and the fact he was facing one side, he didn't know if he could even go for the back.
Chiefs 3-1, suddenly 3 minutes in. It looks like a Chiefs-dominated game. There's one play from Tainted Minds, one close call, and that's all you can say right now. The Chiefs are just looking so much better here since Game 3.
I mean, even if Tainted did fall this game, they still can have time for that reset. That advantage is just going to mean there's going to be 2 apiece.
Love to see this go to all 7 games. It would make my night. What time is it? It would make my night here in Sydney. I don't know why I said where I am. CJ from around the corner. He'll follow this ball up now. Watch for CJ, because he's still going to commit forward. Almost had the challenge down packed, but it turns into a massive clear that Express has to deal with. Kami intercepts again. You can see the ball staying high for now, but CJ ready to take it through the ground. The pass there, almost to himself. The setup, great for Tainted Minds, but Crest won't commit forward. And now Chiefs just get the counterattack that they know and love. Torsos out of boost, but Tainted Minds, their defense continues.
It doesn't really matter. Every time that you see Tainted Minds getting into a good position, getting that monster clear, Chiefs are always going to be able to counter it. They get the dunk and turn it into a play of their own. Tainted Minds really needs to work on clears if they want a chance out of that.
Getting these passes on point as well. Torsos Drippe looking a lot better here in this series. Torsos will just leave that one to Kami, who just gets a freebie almost. Kami takes the shot. The other one goes wide. Tainted Minds, I don't think they get away with murder. I think Chiefs unlucky there, and Tainted Minds setting themselves up. Express almost had that shot gifted to him.
Yeah, CJ taking himself another out of the play by going for huge bumps, turning it into a 2v2, and then cheating forward to try to sneak a goal with it as well.
Trying to sneak that exact same goal on the other side. Kami on the wing. Excuse me. Shady, come back in. This one's wide. The angle, good for CJ, but he won't get to it. It's left for Express. Torsos has already committed forward. Tainted Minds is the shots they want to make. Explosive, fiery, and Kami knows exactly where those shots are coming from. He was on that roster. He was with CJ. He knows what's going on.
I like the fact that Shady has got that possession, he's coming forward, but I want to see more than just backboard attempts, and I want to see more passing coming out because he has enough time to
Speak
make
of the
use.
devil here, Korea. Shady. A bit slow to the ball there. Unfortunately, he ran out of boost. The center there again for Tainted Minds. 45 seconds. 2 goals the difference here. Not sure if TM can make up this difference, but we're going to have to see one big play set them up with that 1 goal difference.
Good touch there by Torsos. Will push it into the corner, which makes it a really awkward position to try break it out of without putting yourself in a compromising one.
Tainted Minds find here the ball all the way down the other side of the field. Drippe saves it once again. Tainted Mind pushing down, but Torsos gets meddled up in affairs of Express. Shady will lob it down without no boost. I think this could be it, Korea. I think Tainted Minds, or hang on, hold the phone. CJ sends it for Shady, who again has no boost, hasn't been able to recover it. So Tainted Minds, they won't take this game, and now suddenly the Chiefs tie up the grand final 2 apiece.
And they have the momentum, which is important as well. They've already gone through that phase that they have in most games, where they start slow and then slowly pick up, and then you see the drip come out and absolutely annihilate someone.
And it's good to see the drip come out. Normally with a tap, you tighten that up. You don't want to see it, but this is the one time where you're happy to waste water. Drippe, what a performance that we've been seeing. We've seen more consistency. We've seen react to those passes. And I'm glad finally at the final we get to see one of the best forms of Chiefs today.
Yeah, Chiefs cohesion is finally coming to the fore.
Yeah.
Like Kami has been... he struggled a bit earlier in the day, but now he's finally hitting that peak phase. He did in the last series start to get in there in the second half. But now he's holding the teammates together, allowing Torsos and Drippe to go nuts.
And this is another moment where Tainted Minds kind of falling back to old habits where the, at the start of the season, we're like, oh, Tainted Minds get Chiefs. Probably would win. It was Chiefs all the way. Towards the end of the season, Tainted Minds have shown this growth. But they've never versed each other in a best of 7 with these exact rosters.
Except earlier today.
Korea, let me get there. Until earlier today.
Yep.
Now it's a revenge match. Now it's a grudge match. It's 2-2. The next game will put one team on match point. And Tainted Minds have already done this today. Can they do it again?
Well, I think the important thing for me is the first one, that was like the warm-up, the taste tester, to see how it was all going to go. And now we're past that appetizer. We're in that main meal. But it's very different now. We're for all the pressure. This is to decide who is the best. All the pride is on the line, and the CJ Kami kind of rivalry is going to be seen in its full-fledged.
Well, let's go into Game 5, see who can take it out, see who can push themselves to match point here and look for first seed at RLCS. Tainted Minds, remember, they started with that Game 1 advantage, so technically they've only won 1 game. The Chiefs have won 2 in a row. Looks like they're fighting back hard. First seed at RLCS. Can Tainted Minds do what has never been done before? The Chiefs still coming up huge. This is CJ's moment. He gets it through 1. The second there. Shady's the finish. And Tainted Minds, Speedy Gonzalez.
CJ may have been read by his ex-teammate, but it wasn't enough because Tainted Minds are always quick with that follow-up, and Shady is stepping up to the plate.
You can see the confidence coming back into Tainted Minds here. This Game 5 seems to be a revitalizer. 30 seconds in, and Tainted Minds say kabam. Now, can they continue up that pace?
And now the fact that they were happy to just go that two-man aggressive start and the defense of Express holding them together means that they will have that confidence and they need to break the progression.
You can see that Chiefs are happy to match that set aggression, that pace. They're willing to take it all the way. Tainted Minds out of the corner. They've slowed down a little bit now, but that's because Shady doesn't have any boost. Express comes back in, sets it up for Torsos, who lobs it for Kami directly on net. But CJ, he knows how to defend a backboard. He was born there. Drip bait, away it goes.
I love the fact that Shady is happy to come forward with so little boost just to maintain pressure, to allow his team to have that aggressive style and not give Chiefs the breathing room they want.
See the confidence as well for Tainted Minds to pass back. It doesn't bite them as well. Smart thinking. 3 minutes 43. Drip bait on the defense. Over to Torsos. Express intercepts this one. CJ comes back in. That infield is to no one except Drip bait. But for Tainted Minds, getting creative with the plays again. I've said it so many times, I'm broken record. But I love saying it. They are an ingenious team who are trying to challenge the Chiefs down to Express. What a pass again, Courier.
They have completely turned the tides again. Express and the CJ combo, we talked about them all day, and the beautiful pass getting over Kami's head. He had to pre-jump because the net was so wide open and there was no teammates inside.
And it was incredible because last game was just a bit of a shutout by the Chiefs. Tainted Minds did not find the passes they needed, and suddenly into this game, they're just blowing it to pieces. They come in aggressive, they come in forward, even Shady comes up to the field. CJ happy to rotate back, but Tainted Minds keeping this pace up. You got to say you fear for the Chiefs in this form.
You got to say it's like a metaphor for the game, though. The challenges are just coming out left, right, and center as they're really stressing for pressure.
A great angle from Kami. Torsos finishes it off, and the Chiefs fight back.
All three members moving quickly into that aggressive stance, playing it off the backboards too quick is why they can pull that one away.
And Chiefs say, if you can do it, we can do it too. In fact, we've done it so many times before. Chiefs are the experienced ones. They've got 3 minutes remaining. It's only one goal. Thought this game was spicing up. We're hoping for all 7. Tainted Minds and Chiefs, every time they go head-to-head in the final, it's been a 4-0, a 4-1. Well, not this time. We want to go all the 9 yards, or 7 in this case, and look for the full game series. Express close call. Steal away by Kami.
The Express CJ, you could see it again. CJ absolutely running forward, but quickly intercepted. Chiefs are starting to learn that he's going to be following up on those big Express plays.
Oh, taking the ball through. CJ gets a second touch. The backboard's there. Express commits up too. What a play by Tainted Minds. It doesn't work out well, but Chiefs turn this into a counterattack. This is their moment. Kami with the bump. Shady has no boost, and Express has to cover this one, but the rebound off the corner almost makes its way into the back of that coffin. And Chiefs with 1 goal difference. Oh, they still have that confidence. They don't care. They want to take this risk. They want to push forward, and CJ misses it, leaves it to Express, who picks up the boost in the end.
Man, Shady has been an absolute pain to that Chiefs offense. Keeps getting in the way, going for the bumps, and just interrupting the shots to try to slow them down and allow the rest of his teammates to reposition and get the defense secured.
Bit of mistouch there by Chiefs offense as they find it in again. Shady knows how to play with angles, Courier.
Yeah, because he locked down the defense. He said, okay, time to move for that offense, and gets that angle that he was oh so famous for.
Shady, that was perfect there by the Tainted Minds offense. 1 minute 52 goals, the lead again. And Tainted Minds are looking down the barrel of match point against the Chiefs once more.
This is some speedy ping pong. We might have that repeat of the 4-2.
It's definitely like Olympic stuff right here. A 4-2 would be the dream for Tainted Minds. Chiefs are not going to go quietly, though. Off the backboard, Shady and Express both commit forward. Perfect defense there from TM. They'll clear it away. Express waiting at the wing, and with that touch not coming through from Kami, means they're on the attack, and Express just takes it himself.
Having an absolute field day. 2 goals, going for another hat-trick against Chiefs as he runs around their entire team.
Tainted Minds are 1 step away. If they can hold this 3-goal lead, which in a minute 30 is very reasonable, then they'll be on match point against Chiefs. They will be looking down the barrel of the biggest upset in OCE history. First place to Tainted Minds. That's what they're holding on to right now. First place means they go into RLCS as the top dog. And first place means they get the most out of cash, they get the rep here, and they do what no team has ever done.
And you'll also get to see CJ do his walkout as the #1 seed of OCE.
And a well-deserved walkout. You can see the goals he's scoring here. The passing upfield by Tainted Minds. Everything is connecting here today, and everything looks beautiful as CJ just going to add some more to the scoreboard.
That is some absolutely beautiful flair. Now it's going to be on Chiefs. Can they stabilize knowing that their reputation is on the line with only a game separating the falter?
Because last game looked like Chiefs' favour, looks like their window back in. What great passing from Tainted Minds. They're continuing to play with the ground, play with the air, and all things in between. Tainted Minds confident as always with 50 seconds left remaining, looking to put the nail here in this game, and I think they've done enough.
Unfortunately, No Express had that opportunity, but it doesn't matter at this stage. With 40 seconds left on the clock, 4 goals to be found. Tainted Minds have locked down this game.
You see CJ has taken 4 shots this game. The aggression's definitely been there. Shady has done so much as well. Everyone from Tainted Minds just looking the goods right now. A 5-1 in Game 5.
Off the back as well of Chiefs dominating them. That is some serious comeback potential.
Chiefs have never been in this position in the grand final. In the grand final, as we see the 6th goal come out from Shady and the hat trick, we have never seen Chiefs in a grand final, I say again, down to match point against them.
This may be the most one-sided game Chiefs have ever played. I don't think I've ever seen them being almost Braziled.
Almost, and definitely a possibility here. Tainted Minds won't get it down the other side of the field in time. But hey, match point's not bad, or maybe they will! Oh, the speed on that was huge!
Chiefs just got Braziled for an RLCS qualifying match. I mean, they're both already through, but for Pride, that first seed is all that matters.
Call the highway patrol. That thing was out of control. We go into Game 6 here, and match point for Tainted Minds to do what no team has ever done before.
I'm blown away, Hysterics. This is phenomenal. So many records being broken. The CJ leading that squad of ex-Darksided members, creating this new superpower roster designed in the offseason to take down Chiefs. It's like a Frankenstein monster situation.
And you know what? Everyone out there, if you're from the States, if you're from Europe, it does not matter. You're looking down the barrel of OCE history. Everyone expects Chiefs to lead the charge. When you ask anyone internationally, what is the team that represents Oceanic Rocket League?
It's Chiefs.
The answer is Chiefs. This changes everything. When people ask that question, the new answer will be Tainted Minds at this rate. Chiefs have to find 2 back-to-back victories. They have to claw their way back and find, it's not a reverse sweep, but they have to reverse things up here. Game 6 coming up.
That first game win, having that freebie has been pivotal. If it was an even 2 apiece, I would say Chiefs have a fair chance. But when you're coming off the back of your Pride being crushed and then getting Braziled, I don't know if they can stabilize. We've never seen them down and out and have to come back from all of this pressure.
I think it was enough that Shady's going to his first ever RLCS, but to go as first seed, you're going to be showing up huge. I mean, get a car for Shady as well. Mind that, just get one that can fit all 3 of you, because the entrance is going to be massive. If Tainted Minds can secure this next game, look to set the tone for the next RLCS and look to set the tone for the Chiefs. Here we go, Courier. Game number 6. And Chiefs are on the back foot for the first time in history.
This is an absolutely phenomenal game to be watching, and Tainted Minds already with a strong start, pushing them deep into their side of the pitch.
When they have space, when they have comfortability, this happens. CJ pops it up. Drippay will get it in off the backboard. Kami helps. Look at the pace on that one. Doesn't go in. What an unfortunate bounce there for the Chiefs. They don't find the first goal, and Tainted Minds, they find themselves free.
I hope we don't have to think about that goal potential in 10 minutes' time.
Well, Kami wants to get over it immediately. He gets the demo onto Express. Drippay with a great pass to Torsos, but it's too quick.
Misconnections are starting to worry me, Hysterics.
Yeah, especially against Torsos and Kami. The shot towards net. Shady with great defense there. A miss-intercept there, excuse me. Just the old intercept from Drippay. The centre pass there through as well, and Tainted Minds have to be careful. Ball sent up again. This is Express now. Drippay lobs it away. CJ not going to contest. They leave it for the clear. They leave the ball right in front of net. Kami does find it, though, with a pinch in.
Did not show him enough respect. Kami coming out with such an incredible amount of speed, and CJ going up the wall a little too late.
You can see there, they're happy to take the defense, but Tainted Minds are going to think twice now. First goal to the Chiefs. Miss. I asked for it, Korea. I'm not going to bless it. but I will if we get to 7.
You may get that Game 7 overtime you oh so love.
Well, CJ pops it up. Maybe Tainted Minds want to take it elsewhere. They do! And that's the power of teamwork.
Express CJ combo is absolute true terror, and I cannot wait to see what they do on the international stage.
And if you expect Tainted Minds to do this, well, I don't know how, because it is so hard to read this team. They are so powerful. They are so strong. And I'm not talking about skill here. I'm talking about the way they play.
Now, they've got the cohesion now. This is what I've been wanting to see over the season. The growth has continued. They started off strong, and now they are ending phenomenally.
Shady gets a demo there. Phenomenally, yes, but can they hold this game? One apiece here. Shady will take it around the other side of the field. Tainted Minds still under pressure here. Torsos has centered it nicely. The shot denied from Drippe. Kami directly in. The crossbar and down. Tainted Minds survive again.
That is 3 consecutive shots that have hit the crossbar
Oh, no.
or the post, and Express turns it right round.
But Kami finds his way back in time. They get the demo onto Drippe. They fake it out, and it bounces in for CJ again.
They get the demo, and they finish the play. Chiefs are slowly being torn limb from limb.
You can see Express goes up, even though Kami doesn't find it. Unfortunate again, but it feels like I'm rinsing and repeating that word. Tainted Minds, 2-1. This is where history is made.
3 minutes away if nothing changes. They are the new OCE champions.
They have to hold this. Chiefs are unrelenting. They will not let this get away from them. Drippe's here, right through the ground, but Kami blocks it! No! Kami got the perfect bump, but he hits it back out.
Right thoughts, wrong execution. Absolutely great idea. He's had so many phenomenal bumps, but not now.
Trying
not
to
like
fix it
this.
through. That cannot be the goal that defines this game. Tainted Minds 2-1. Chiefs punishing forward. That could have been an open net there for Torsos. He fixes the mistake, but Shady with slimline defense. He'll get it out of there. The Chiefs have had so many opportunities, but Tainted Minds, again they stay. CJ's here. Get the ball away.
It doesn't matter that CJ couldn't find the angle. They are sitting on that 2-1 lead.
Torsos trying to fix it again. It's just so heartbreaking from Kami. Express comes back in. Intercept not found, but onto CJ. The pass is there to Shady. Hits up, hits the roof, comes back down. CJ to go up the Torsos. Again, Tainted Minds have control. There's no boost. The steal away by Express. Kami almost scores an own goal there. The pressure amounting to Chiefs. They'll get the ball through. Tainted Minds, they've done enough with time. They need to hold even longer here. Drippe has plenty of boost. He gets a second touch. But the Chiefs haven't found one yet.
They had the demo. They're getting all these bumps, though, as a consequence. Whenever Tainted Mind sees the opportunity, they go for the bump in rotation. And the goal is so close to in. Drippe pulls it for the equalizer.
They finally found it. So much attacking here from the Chiefs. Drippe, Kami, everyone made that goal happen. They equalized with 1 minute 30 remaining.
Both teams so incredibly hungry for this win. You can see the action that they are just facilitating. They're running forward. I am heartbroken and breathless.
You can see CJ was trying to play with time there, play with everything. Chiefs off the backboard again. That's a miss, but also a miss by Torsos. Kami comes back in, but CJ and Express have been able to recover. Close calls, nerves, everything affecting these players here. I'll come back from nerves, but Torsos there, ready for Kami. The banger this time lands.
This time, Kami getting it over his head. Torsos with an amazing setup. He does manage to get past 2 players, and we need to see Torsos with these styling plays if they're to take out the last critical game.
I asked for a Game 7. I asked, please, give me a Game 7. 1 minute 15 from that reality, but Tainted Minds do not count them out just yet.
No, the desk 3-1 in favor of them. They are in a strong position.
Kami around the wing. Chiefs still staying on this attack. Torso sitting around the midfield, but the ball's over him. That's an open net. Like we said, do not count out Tainted Minds.
I am not sure what the plan was there. So aggressive with that coming forward. Torsos not even in a position to challenge because he was a little bit too far back, and we had a situation where boost was prioritized over good defense.
And Tainted Minds, they strike back 101. That is the time we've got left. That minute is going to be hot and heavy. Torso sitting around the midfield. Express wins it over. Kami is not in net. The demo from Drippe in the nick of time.
Drippe saving Kami's bacon there. That should have been a goal had Drippe not cut back and realized his teammate prioritized boost and left the goal open.
But for the first time, it looks like Tainted Minds have been able to maintain possession. The Chiefs have made some big misses here. That's Torsos. The pinch out of the corner, 35 seconds remaining. The demo from Express is on to Kami. Around the midfield, Express is up, but 2 members are forward. CJ needs the defense, doesn't find it. Shady saves the bacon this time. Kami drops down, the roller here, and Shady wants to break away. 15 seconds remaining. Tainted Minds, there it is. CJ bangs it. They find the defense. They clear it away. Chiefs survive, but Shady's back in. Crossbar down, away. 5 seconds. 4. They count forward as CJ looks to bang it even further. Tainted Minds can't get close. The defense continues. The backboard there. 0 seconds for about 10 now. It finally drops. And Tainted Minds, it's overtime again.
The pressure they have mounted against Chiefs is phenomenal, and Chiefs are again on the back foot as they defend their
pass
claim.
back to Shady! Tainted Minds have done it, and the Chiefs defeated for the first time in history. Tainted Minds secure the first seed for the OCE Championship. They go to RLCS standing proud.
Shady has broken his record. He is now going to RLCS with the rest of his friends. He will have that plane ticket, and now we have a new champion of OCE.
What a pass back at that moment, straight off the kickoff for Tainted Minds to find this play out of the corner of their brain and say, let's pass back. Shady locks it in, and the person who we said was probably the most quiet steps up huge in the end for Tainted Minds, gentlemen. We have a new champion.
What a day. What a season for Tainted Minds. They took down the Chiefs 3 times in a row.
Yeah, like, I got nothing.
That's convincing. That's ridiculous. Tainted have played so well today. Again, we had our worries at the start of the season, but they look incredible.
Let's break it down. Let's take a step back and look at the first game there, I think, as well. For Tainted Minds, they came into this series as not the underdogs, but the new favourites.
Yeah.
They had that 1-game advantage. They found the first. But then Chiefs fought their way back.
Well, that first game, it was so close. It could have
Yeah.
gone either way.
Yeah.
And I think Chiefs are going to be so upset again because they were
they should
game
be.
1. There were so many opportunities that they just couldn't get. And that, I think it was the last game or second last game. Where
That
they kept
last game was
hitting
awful.
the side
Oh my
post
God.
over and over.
Yeah, they had
and over.
They had 3 in the course for about a minute, and there was also the Kami block.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That was brutal. That was brutal. But there were many brutal moments in that game.
You could see nerves getting to everyone, though.
Yeah.
That last game was, like, horrible.
It
by
really
both
goes to
people's
show how
standards.
important it was for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could see,
Yep.
like, Tainted have been so solid all day. In that last game, they were just missing everything. And then Chiefs were, like, slow back, letting in these, like, sloppy goals. It was like, yeah, it means so much to them, and that will affect your gameplay.
But also, sorry, Crew.
Yeah, I felt so bad when Torsos did that huge styling play down the right-hand
Yeah,
side to
then
open the
misses it.
net,
Yeah.
and then immediate just free counter-attack from Express for the goal.
Oh,
I think this speaks for Tainted Minds, though, their ability to play from behind. I think in previous years, talking about Darksided especially, it felt like they struggled to play from such a position.
I don't think that's the case, but CJ's so good at playing from behind. He's the one, the hype man who always picks his team up.
Yeah, he has that mental fortitude that a lot of players need when they go into that lower bracket situation. He just pulls them through.
It's hard to pick yourself back up. Like, we saw SYF just get crushed today. We saw Water get crushed today. And you see Tainted just not care when they take bad losses.
But this is the first time ever, gentlemen, that we have a brand new OCE champion, a brand new team essentially in that position. Let's bring up that bracket because our number 1 for RLCS this time, it ain't the Chiefs. It's Tainted Minds.
This is such a good sign for OCE going to the World Championship, taking on NA, taking on EU, and both teams look brilliant.
Well, I'm really glad to see that Chiefs will now get to play the 4th seed EU. I think we can they can really beat that team, and it should like really be good for OCE. I think Tainted can definitely beat EG, so I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, I think this will be the first season where we can expect OCE to not have a team in the bottom 2. We can break through. We can do better than 7th and 5th.
I think that's very realistic. The way Tainted Minds play, if they play that style against the top 8 teams in the world, top 10, excuse me, then this is a total different season for OCE.
Well, Tainted were in such a good position to not come last season.
Yeah.
And now they look incredible. They look like 5 times the team they used to be.
This Tainted Minds, the new Tainted Minds, which is with Express and Shady, they would have beaten Envy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily. They would
Easily.
have taken it out. They would have been clutch. They would have held it. Shady still has the questions around him there, but I think today he really proved himself.
Lan is a little different.
The World
but
Championship's like completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even to a LAN in OCE.
It's a whole different environment. It's so thrilling to see a new team in that first position, though. We've got our same two teams, but essentially we don't. Because, again, old Darksiders, so it's a new Tainted Minds going.
Well, they're new rosters still, so...
But CJ returning. Express hasn't been to the World Championship in a very long time.
Yeah.
It's a return for Express. Shady, his first season in the championship
And
as well.
they've really deserved it. They've been at the top of OCE.
Yeah.
They've had such tragic runs the last 2 seasons. It's so happy to see them there now.
Well, yeah, they were the team that went upper bracket, lower bracket. They tried, they've grinded. They've done everything they possibly can, and it took bringing in CJ to get there.
I want to see Shady's face. I wish we could have had like an instant Shady cam with that giant goofy smile when he realizes that he is the #1 seed of OCE.
I mean, that smile, he should be smiling right now. For Tainted Minds, a big congratulations. Chiefs as well. They go as 2nd seed for the first time, don't forget. Of course, we have to look at our MVP of this week for the grand final, Yummy Cheese Man. Let's get to it. Who impressed us, or who impressed us all this week?
I'll have to give it to Express.
Yeah.
Two hat-tricks, 2 goals in the last game to really carry them forward.
So well-deserved.
He was so solid throughout the day, and I think this same thing throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
I always put Express slightly ahead of CJ because CJ ends up making mistakes.
Yeah, and
But-
Express is so solid.
But in terms of MVP, I think it's time to put them as joint MVP today. Not
Okay.
CJ because of all the work he's put in outside of the pitch to change his team, to turn
Yeah.
them into what they are. Maybe he's not the best player 100% on the pitch. Maybe that's Express. But off the pitch,
Most valuable individual.
deserves
absolutely.
recognition here.
Yeah, he's the catalyst. He made them what they are.
He's the captain. Like any team success, you've got to thank the captain.
I think on that back note as well, CJ, of course, has been that player to watch just purely because of his potential. His growth continues, and even though sometimes he has bad days, he still shows growth. He gets better and better each and every season.
Yeah.
Express as well. The consistency of that man is insane, and it's good to see
It's
him going
actually
back.
been 4 seasons for Express to be so consistent.
He just gets numbers all the time. He's just solid all the time. You never think Express and go, oh, they're a bit shaky there. It's like
Yeah.
Express is like so good.
However, gents, that's it for another season.
It's the end of 2018.
That is the end of the OCE Championship. However, that is not the end of OCE. RLCS, when we get there, we are going to cause some havoc. We are going to take down... I'm not going to be the person that says we're going to take down everyone, but we probably will.
November the 9th to November the 11th. It's going to be a big weekend, Las Vegas. But tonight at 3 a.m. AEDT, European Regional Championship. You have to watch that.
See who we're playing.
See who plays.
Yep.
See who gets beaten by Dignitas. Yeah.
No, it's going to be huge. See who the Chiefs are going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to Jake, to Yummy Cheese Man, to Korea, to Wolfie, of course, to our production team who put in the effort for this season. We will be back, of course, next year for the next OCE Championship. It has been an absolute pleasure. Congratulations again to Tainted Minds, to the Chiefs, and we will see you next season.